Welcome to part 2 of my investigation into the locations shown in this Pathe newsreel from 1940 on the British Pathe channel on YouTube. I believe this newsreel shows 3 locations, and in this part I'm going to look at the second location. Let's play some of the clip. Clearly a church. Looks a bit like St Mark's Church, but we can't see much of it because of the destruction. Buses or possibly trolley buses going past there. And that's a big clue, those roofs. Pews on the inside of the church. And that's a different church. So let's come back to that in part 3. So, back to the beginning of the clip. There was a Wesleyan Methodist church in the Fairgreen that was destroyed by enemy action in 1940. So it's very likely that that is this. But just to make sure, let's see what clues we can get from this newsreel. First off, we can see part of some buildings over there that have finials on top of the gables. It's a better view later on. Here. This looks like the row of shops and flats along the London Road from the Fairgreen going towards the cricket green. To show you where I mean, I'm going to use a 3D view of Apple Maps. So this is Apple Maps view of the Apple Green or Fairgreen. There's the London Road, and this is where the church was. So I want to look at the back of these buildings from this view to see if it matches with what it's shown in the newsreel. So we're going to use the 3D view and choose a satellite view, and now I'm going to zoom in and turn the map and incline it. Whoa, look at that. So there's the Fairgreen, King's Arms over there, London Road. This was the location of the church. Let's zoom in. And compare that with the newsreel. See the basic shape, the triangles, chimney stacks, and 2 windows across. Yes, I think that works. I'm telling you where the church was, but I haven't shown you the map. Let's go back and look at the map from 1910. Now, according to Eric Montague's book, the Mitcham History Series number 7, The Upper or Fair Green Mitcham, he says that the Wesleyan Chapel, the Methodist Church, was built in 1909. And as it happens, we've got a 1910 Ordnance Survey map, which shows Methodist Church, Wesleyan. Now, it's interesting to note at this point, the other shops that were along here, down to the Three Kings Pond, haven't been built yet. Let's have a look at an aerial view. This is from on the Historic England website. It's an aerial view of the Fair Green in 1924. We can see the Fair Green. There's the London Road, there's Parade of shops. Look at that, we can zoom in quite nicely. So that's the Wesleyan Church, London Road, those shops that we just looked at using the Apple map. And across the road from the Wesleyan Church, various old shops. Do we have any photographs of the church itself before it was destroyed? Not really, but someone recently posted to Facebook a photograph from their late parents' collection of photographs, and this was of a charabanc outing by the looks of it. It's written down the bottom, Wesley Chapel, Fair Green, Mitcham. So no, we haven't got a picture of the church, but I thought I'd show you this picture because I quite like it. This map, 1932, shows the Methodist Church, and now we have this row of shops that leads down to the Three Kings Pond. And the reason this is relevant, back to the newsreel. I'm going to come back to this scene in a minute, but for me, one of the mysteries of this newsreel was, is it showing a single location from different shots, or is it jumping around from location to location? I think it's the former. It's showing different views of this incident. There are buses and trolley buses in the background. Another pan over to the destruction of the church. And here, I wasn't sure where these houses were. As it happens, as I just said, there have been shops and flats built along the Upper Green East sometime in the 30s or before the 20s or 30s. So the newsreel might actually be showing the destruction to the backs of the houses along here. So what we need to do is to find out some way of getting behind those flats and houses and see what the buildings look like. Let's have a look at a Google map. And if we look at the street view car did actually go to the back. Let's drop it down there. So the person driving the street view car thought, oh dear, can't go any further than this. Turned around and came back. So what we're looking at there is the back of Langdale Avenue. And here is the layout to the back of the shops and flats. And it's possible, I think, but that's what we're looking at here. So this destruction then is at the back of Upper Green East, along from the church towards the Three Kings Pond. Yes, and then this is from where we see this view of the parade, the shops and flats in London Road. Right, now let's go back to the view of the Fair Green, just to confirm it all, where we know where we are. So I think this is a view from where the church stood across the Fair Green towards Upper Green East on the other side. And I think it says there Hovis. Move this on a bit, get this bus or trolley bus out of the way. I think over there that's the Gutteridge seed stores, which is where Barclays Bank was then later built. The Merton Historical Society have a photograph of that. There, the Gutteridge seed stores. Corn and forage merchants. And this building, A.W. Turner's Bakery, could well be this building here, which looks like it took a quite a bit of a shockwave from the blast. So is it possible then that they rebuilt this as this building? And this building became the Barclays Bank. There is lettering on that building over there. Can't see the detail, but it kind of fits, doesn't it? If that's where Turner's Bakery was, there's that alleyway, and this is the church. Let's have a look at it today. So that's where the church was. There's that building that was Turner's Bakery. There's the Barclays Bank, now closed. And we're across the road from this parade, which is called Langdale Parade, which was built late 50s, early 60s. The Wesleyan Chapel wasn't rebuilt. Merton Memories have some photographs. And it says on the night of 19th September 1940, a landmine fell and destroyed the church. The photograph shows the Reverend Blamey sitting in the front of the ruins. He's got a rebuilding fund, but it wasn't rebuilt. And see if this photograph gives us any information. There was my theory that across the road was Gutteridge. Let's have a look. Ah, look at that. B Gutteridge. There you go. So that's what I think we could see in the video here, in the newsreel. That's over there. So larger letter in there, smaller letter in there. Yeah, larger letter in there, smaller letter in there. I think it's fairly conclusive then that the second location shown in the Pathe newsreel, Mitcham Bombed 1940, was of the Wesleyan Methodist Church at the Fair Green. It wasn't rebuilt. Langdale Parade was built instead. Thank you for watching. Hope you found this interesting. Press the like button if you did. and keep an eye out for future videos from this channel. Consider subscribing. Bye for now.